Me and Drizzy back to back, it's getting scary. If you fucking with my eyes, just don't come near me. Put some bins all on your head like Justin Terry. Whoa.
Let's get it, let's get it! We is back, boy, we is back, man. The Faison View Podcast, another hit, man, another hit. Man, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Man, let's get into it today. Episode 269. Man, what state has the stronghold on hip-hop, man? We're going to unpack it today. Agenda, man, you already know. We here. Hey, at Game Shift, make sure you support. Make sure you follow. Hey, you already know at the Faison View Podcast, make sure you always tapping in and also at Color Power. What it do, man? Hey, on the agenda today, guys, let's unpack it. Has Atlanta had a stronghold on hip-hop longer than New York? Hey, I'm talking about in the terms of years. So we're gonna get to that. One gotta go. Mirrors, clock, microwave, or your car. We shall see. Subscribers Q&A, as you already know, man, we got them right here, ready and queued up. Man, make sure you drop your questions in the DM or comment. Alright, so we're going to get into that, as you already know. Alright, tragically, 14-year-old falls to his death at amusement park ride. Man, sure, amusement parks have less roller coaster rides. Thoughts on that? Alright, lastly, the infamous Would You Rather. Alright, I'm going to leave the Would You Rather alone until we get to it. Alright, Would You Rather. Alright,
you changed it a little bit.
So I changed the Would You Rather, so this is going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. Alright, man, let's get into it, man. Make sure y'all tapping in, as always, Thursday, 5 p.m. before we get started and get going, man. Alright, first on our agenda, man. Has Atlanta had a strong hold on hip-hop longer than New York? And my answer is absolutely. Absolutely. And honestly, bro, it's been since Outkast said, man, the South got something to say. Since then, if you look at the artists from that time, yes, you have artists in New York that are legendary, timeless, but it's about sharing the space, bro. It's about sharing the space. When you look at a group like Outkast, when you look at what? You have the Dungeon Family, then you go to the T.I., then you go to the Jeezys, the Gucci, which is all branched off, Future, and all of them are branched off and families, and you already know, definitely Ludacris. Ludacris might be one of the first.
Ludacris came out 2000.
Because guess what? Because Ludacris brought Titty Boy to the scene.
He came out in 2000. Like, he came out at the turn of the century for everybody. Right?
And he did as a rapper, premier rapper. Ludacris was one of them. You gotta put respect on Ludacris' name. Alright, we don't give him his respect for real. But yeah, honestly, I feel like it might be an easy answer because New York is talented. I'm not taking anything away from New York because that's the origin of hip hop. But we talking about the stronghold as in years as we go down the line, bro. And a recent since the 90s to now, I got Atlanta.
It's easy. I would agree, and I think it's easy for us to agree because we're living in this time, and we're experiencing it in real time.
Right.
Versus, we weren't experiencing the 90s and the 80s in real time.
Mm-hmm.
But even still, I still agree, and I think most New Yorkers will agree because there is a debate that's going on amongst New Yorkers who ask what killed New York hip hop. So even they would agree that New York hip hop hasn't been what it has been
for sure
in many years. And I gotta give it to Atlanta. You talk about since Outkast said what they had to say and everything they did, and even guys like Ludacris who really like kicked in the door swinging. And like as soon as the 90s was over, like here he came and just like immediately was like and after him, like so many guys from Atlanta just came after him. When he opened the door, like T.I. and Young G.
Then we got Bow Wow.
Killer Mike, who's not from Atlanta, but basically is.
Yeah,
like all
because of that. Yeah,
Jermaine Dupri.
That's true. Jermaine
and so it's just really, and you look at like all the hottest rappers out now, from Young Boy to the Migos to Lil Baby to Gunna, like Young Fella, like everybody. And speaking of Ludacris, like you see what Young Thug's doing now with his people.
Correct.
You gotta give credit to Ludacris too, because DTP is one of the most successful labels in Def Jam's history. Like, it is. I say it's easier to say when we're experiencing because you do have to, because you do have to think about, when the 90s was out, there was a period where New York just had it, even in the 80s. But even then, there were still stints where, there were other regions that really had it. Like you got to think about the mid-90s
where
the West had it online.
And then you got to think about the South too, because you still had the Ghetto Boys back then.
Exactly. You know, so I still think, even if you could say, because there was that point where the West had it online with Death Row was killing it.
NWA.
Yeah, NWA, and even when Death Row had Tupac and Snoop and Dre all at the same time, I mean, there was nothing you could do with the West Coast. No, but the East Coast was still doing its thing.
Right.
I think there was a point where New York never went anywhere. Like, even if there was another state or region doing its thing, New York never went nowhere. But then I think, once like the early 2000s hit, it started to like...
Right,
really you could see the gap that was increasing with Atlanta and everything else. It was especially now, like the last 10 years.
Because at a period of time, other than Jay-Z, at a period of time, I know you got Jadakiss, I know my history, but at a period of time, it was really just 50 Cent running for New York, because he was going against the T.I.s, the Kanyes, that type of group with the Waynes and Jeezys and Gucci. He was going against that group. It started to fade away in the 2000s.
Which is why people argue that 50 kind of killed New York hip hop, because he ushered in the SMD era. Atlanta is so successful because they're all about we the ish. I'll help one another. In New York, it's kind of like, no, I'm the ish.
I'm the king. I'm on top.
And they feel like 50 ushered in that SMD era with that type of energy. And I'll say a little bit of that, but 50 also argues like, no, I think Ebro and the radios killed New York hip hop, because y'all weren't the ones playing all the local artists and all the other. And I agree with him on that. Because ASAP Rocky said, I didn't hear no New York rappers on the radio growing up. Most of my influence came from guys from down south.
And to your point, bro, I feel like, honestly, it's the obligation of the whole entertainment when you're talking about the music and also you're talking about radio, because New York radio was it. The radio and the DJs was it. That's what kind of started hip hop for real. And also, their input and also how they put on was monumental. It still is monumental. So to that point, that has a lot to do with yes, New York has a certain type of aura about them. That cachet is just like, it's me, I'm the king, or I'm the queen. But also, those radio stations had a lot to do with the success and breaking artists.
Yeah, and New York radio is still big, because every time a rapper drops an album, what do they do? They go to New York and they do all the hot 97 promo run. Yeah,
biggest
New York press run. I will say this though. Because they were talking about this in the Joe Budden podcast like months ago. They were talking about if each area had to do, each state or each city had to do like a top 5 of their best MCs versus. I said I think New York clears everybody by miles, because there's just too many MCs.
It's too many.
Like New York would have to go up against themselves. There's a 5 in Yonkers. There's a 5 in Brooklyn. A 5 in Queens. It's just not fair.
It's not.
Like they would obliterate any competition. You talk about just MCs alone, New York 100% has the best MCs. Like, you could do a separate argument of that. Like, who has the best MCs in New York?
And Atlanta, Atlanta just, in this combo, they're so monumental, because they showed us what it's like when you come together and you form an alliance, and actually you want the other brother to strive and be a king or queen with you. That changed the whole dynamic of everything, bro.
And I think that's why people were mad at that Amaretta chick for putting that song out. Because now, if I'm an outsider, you got me thinking, okay, well, all these people ain't from Atlanta, but they're all the reason Atlanta's popular. Maybe Atlanta's not that special. Maybe it's the surrounding region. And I think people were upset with her because she divided the city. It's like, yo, all of these regions with all these great artists, they are the reason Atlanta has the forefront it has.
It's a fun song, but I do get what you're saying, because what you're saying is really our conversation. We come out to DMV is the same thing. With you, it's DC. You're not DC. You PG. We had these conversations. To your point, I see because that could divide the city.
Divided the city. It's like, already, because like you coming for Ludacris, which is insane, because who has done more for the city of Atlanta than Ludacris? You talk about musically. There's not a solo artist who sold more records, has more top 40s, top 10s, number 1s. Like, this is the guy who brought millions of dollars, millions of viewers, millions of listeners to the city of Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna come at him? How you gonna come at Future and Google? Like, all of these guys and Sierra helped make Atlanta.
You're right. But to Amaretta's point too, to play devil advocate, it's today's era. It's popular to mix it up, So you know what I'm saying? Good, like we always say, good or bad. Publicity is it's all publicity now.
And I shout out to Ludacris. I like his response. He's an MC, so you say his name, he going, you know. But I think it was very classy. You know, he handled it with class. He didn't come at their throats, but he definitely, you know, had to let it be known. Had to let it be known. Like, hold on, real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's real talk.
I'm A-Town for real. Don't do that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Y'all let us know, man, who has a stronghold on the hip hop era, man, in terms of years. All right.
I got Atlanta,
New York, man. We both got Atlanta here, and we really just talking about within the last 20, 25 years. We talking criteria. All right. But one gotta go, man. One gotta go. Mirrors, clock, microwave, or car? Which gotta go for you?
I'm going with clock. Because I gotta be able to see how I look. Because you don't want to be looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? The microwave, I mean, that's food. You know what I'm saying? You want, and you definitely need your car. I gotta go with clock. Does this mean I can't look at the time on my phone? I think I'll be alright.
I mean, if you talking about clock, I don't know.
I think I'll be alright without a clock. That's tough. I think I would be alright.
Because in the term that I'm saying clock is just, I'm talking about time. Just in general, for you to be able to see the time.
I just go.
I don't know. I can see
dark and how bright.
I might have to say microwave. I might have to sacrifice the microwave. Cause it's other ways to make food now.
Man.
You got the air fryer, you got the oven, you got the stove. I mean, you know, there's other ways to heat up food. I really thought about it when I looked at it because at first I was going to pull back and say, might have said clock or mirrors, but I'm like, microwave, man.
That's a good point.
It's important, but I got the air fryer right there.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate, stick with my clock. I think I'd be alright without a clock.
I mean, honestly, I think it would. I don't know. It just like depends on what your life and what you do. You know what I'm saying? Like that, like the clock. I understand that because it just depends on your life and what you do. And honestly, you know, depending on how it is outside, you can try to get a little glimpse of how, you know, what time of day it is. But hey, that's a good one. That's a good one. So one gotta go, man. Make sure y'all choose one. I said microwave. He got clock.
I'm gonna go with clock, man.
We're gonna see. All right, man. Already, let's get it, man. Subscribers Q&A, man. Favorite part of the show, man. New segment. Introduce my co-host and my brother Hugh, man. So we're gonna get on to it, man. The first question, bro. What's the best Jordan ever? The best Jordan ever, in my opinion, is what my brother pulled up in today. And they always been my favorite. Flint 13s, bro. You can never go wrong with the Flint 13s, Concord 11s, and maybe I'll say to add another one, Space Jams or Cement 3s. But my first is Flint.
My favorite sneaker of all time is the True Blue 3s. I always need a pair, and I got a pair. But I do think the best Jordan is either the Space Jams or the Aqua 8s.
Aqua 8s is like timeless.
I think I still need a pair of both. But I think my favorite is the True Blue 3, but if I'm talking about the best, I think I'm gonna go Aqua 8s because the look obviously is a very unique look. And the Space Jam #1 is fire, but at the same time there's like, you know, so much like with the movie, the movie is monumental. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, so I'm gonna go. That's gonna be my answer. I'm gonna go with that.
Bruh, I never forget the times, bruh. Never forget the time.
They make the same. Man.
Back in, bruh, we used to be camping out for shoes, man. Looking back on it, we was crazy, man. We was crazy because
used to get shot up.
Man, them Concords, bro. Them Concords, like y'all know, worldwide. Them Concords. What year was that, bro?
That was
2011. Yeah, 2011, bro.
Every year, like every year, the end of the year, the 11s always came out, and every year from like 09 was the Space Jam, 10 was the Cool Grade 11. Like every year it was always crazy. You had to like, if you got a pair, you had to like wait a couple months for the heat to die down before you pull the joints out.
And it don't seem that far away, but it's far away. It's changed. That's 10 years. That's 10 years plus now. It's changed, man. The sneaker game. Lord have mercy, bro. Hey, but yeah, for me, the Flint 13s. My brother got the True Blue 3s. All right. So, go ahead. You say that one for us, right there.
What are the first steps to starting your own small business? First steps is really figuring out what it is you want to do. So once you figure that out, from like what type of business it is, then I guess it's figuring out who you want to sell to, and what it is you want to sell, or whatever you want to make or do. And then I think it's really, because it's a lot of figuring out. It's like games, like it's a lot of figuring out that goes before you even put stuff into action. A lot of ironing out your idea. and then it's just about figuring out how you're gonna do it. So if I'm talking about video games, before you get to that process of making a game, you gotta figure out what type of game you want to make. You gotta figure out if it's 2D or 3D. You gotta figure out is it gonna be what kind of platform you gonna put on. You gonna do console, you gonna do mobile, you gonna do PC. You gotta figure out if it's going to be a complex game that requires a lot of more people, or if it's gonna be something simple that you can do like drag and drop, doesn't require a lot. So there's a lot of figuring out beforehand. Just getting I think I guess my advice would be ironing out all the details of your idea first before you go into like the process of like trying to create and sell or whatever. But iron everything out, like the who, what, when, where, how. You all get all that out the way, and then you can begin.
I like that. And for me, the first steps you take in starting your own business, man, is start. Get started. Take action. Don't just talk about it, because the more you talk about it, the less you're gonna be doing it. Yeah. Honestly, put action to your words. And if you're gonna start any business, small business or big business, make sure you have your trademark. Make sure you have an LLC. Make sure you have all the N's, like my boy Hugh said. Make sure that all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. Because, once the ball get on the road, man, hey, it's starting. And it happens fast and it happens quick. You can ask my brother. My brother just, started his business. It seemed like it was yesterday. But, and also understand one thing, I know him and myself, having businesses of our own, honestly, you really have to humble yourself, because know that this is not just a short game. And just know that everything that you see on social media and you see people gain and do these businesses, they started somewhere. You're seeing the middle, nowhere near the finished product. So don't go off what other people, do or with their business or anything like that. Understand that they had a starting point too, and it may take time. But guess what? Understand that you need to be humble and take the proper steps, such as getting your trademark, LLC. Make sure you cross the T's and dot your I's. Have a plan, structure your plan, and then when you go into it, make sure that you have, honestly, bro, people that are going to give you good insight and not just, oh, okay, that looks good. Make sure that you have people surrounding you that can really proofread or help you, in any type of process that you need. Because you need people. Even though you want to start your business, you always are going to need a helping hand as well, too.
Definitely want to know.
For sure.
For sure.
So that's what I had to say on that one, man. So the last one, subscribers Q&A. What's the most important thing to you in life? What's the most important thing to you in life? Honestly, man, I'm blessed to be here. Like, for one, God, my son, my family, my friends, my peers, I'm blessed for it all. So the most important thing to me in my life is the ones that are close to me. Like, because I'm not me without any of them. And I'm talking about any of them. I'm not me without my family. I'm not me without my friends, because I'm not me without God. That makes me who I am. That makes me whole. So honestly, the most important thing to me is just making those around me proud, and honestly continue to push forward and being a proud father to my son, and in the future being a husband, and always being a great son to my mother and father, great sibling, great friend. So I cherish all of that. That's most
important thing to me, my relationship with Jesus Christ. Definitely the best decision I ever made. He's just, he's always been there for me. He's been my hope and my peace. One of the saddest things you see is a lot of people walk around without any hope. When bad things happen, they don't have anything to hope for, or to hope on, or hope to. They try to rely on themselves, and the human beings just aren't. We're not built to withstand stuff like that on our own. It's real easy to crumble, but when you're anchored in Christ, He doesn't move, He doesn't fold. He's like a colander. You can run a colander under the sink for 20 years, it'd never fill up. We're built to capacity. At a certain point, there's only but so much we can take. With Christ, He's a colander. You give your problems to Him. He can handle any of it and all of it. He has definitely given me a sense of morals to live by, and an example that I can be. And so all I ever try to be every day, all I want to do is trying to grow in Christ every day. I want to be I'm called to be an image bearer. I always want to try to be the best image bearer of Christ I can be, the best example of righteousness that I can be. Because I'm not perfect, so all I can do is be the best that I can be. And so that means actually putting your effort into it. There's a lot of folks that say they're doing their best, but it's like, is that really the best you got? That's really the best you can do. So if you say if it's the best you want to be, then you want to put your effort into it. Yeah, man, I don't want to preach too much, but I love the Lord, man. So my relationship with Christ is definitely the most important thing to me. I wouldn't be where I'm at without it, and I wouldn't be. I'm not going to be where I'm going to get to without it.
Real talk, real spill, man, real spill. So, as you guys know, subscribers Q&A, man. We're gonna be doing this every episode, new segment, man. So make sure y'all, give us y'all questions, man. All right, man. On to a sad note, man, but tragic. 14-year-old falls to his death at amusement park ride, man. Sad. So it posed me to ask this question: should amusement parks have less roller coaster rides? And I'm gonna also add more safety precautions. So, man, this situation took storm. It really hit social media and really tearjerker for real. And man, prayers to the family and condolences to that family. Honestly. Because that's heartbreaking. You going to have fun at an amusement park and something like that happens. And it was video servicing, and before the ride, allegedly, he didn't have any of the gear on, and they launched it without having him on, allegedly. And really just the safety precautions, because I'm very, very much so scared of heights. But I just feel like certain roller coasters and certain amusement park rides are not necessary, and that's just me speaking. Like that ride that he was on, just trying to have fun at an amusement park, and something like that happens. Yes, it's rare, but regardless of anything, it should not happen. Safety precautions should be there. Somebody is responsible for that.
Yeah, man.
Somebody is very much so responsible for that, because if I am to lose my child with something like that, oh nah. Lose my child in general, but for something like that to happen in a place of fun,
yeah,
man, oh man, bro. So I'm lost for words, because of course every day you see different news, but man, this is it's tragic, and especially in a place of where you're just trying to have fun and enjoy yourself. So really, rest in peace to this boy, and really condolences to his family, man.
Prayers to his family.
That's tough.
Everyone involved.
That's tough.
Yeah, man. It's just sad to see. I definitely avoided the video at all costs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just I will say this: like if you go on an amusement park, man, like one if you're a worker, sometimes they're there for so long, they do the same thing for hours and hours. Sometimes you go through the motions. Don't go through the motions when you're checking those harnesses, man. Make sure people are locked in. You know what I'm saying? People are counting on you to make sure that they're safe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So definitely don't go through the motions. And on the flip side, if you are at a ride, though, check yourself.
Correct.
Because you're the one putting that thing on. Make sure that joint on you. Make sure you got the seatbelt on. Make sure that joint clicking and locked in. You make sure. You know what I'm saying? Don't just rely on them. I don't care. And I'm like that. I don't care what ride. I don't care if I'm at a small carnival or amusement park. I always make sure the little thing. I make sure that thing is on me tight and comfortable. Make sure it's locked in. Make sure my seatbelt is on. The same way we secure our stuff to make sure it doesn't fly out, you need to be checking sure to make sure you secure in the harness or whatever it is. And then that person can come around and give you that double check and give you that assurance. And definitely there's some other things that can be done like that. I think that ride in general is that ride that goes up and then comes back down.
Correct.
I was never a fan of that ride because it goes up and comes back down, it's over. But I think there's some things they can do, like once they go up, they can like stretch a net out, something like that. That way, if someone falls, they land on this giant net.
Something of a precaution.
Yes, something. Like,
something of a precaution. And to your point, that goes all the way up
like
to where you can see all the amusement park. You go down, and guess what? And it goes down, and it like jerks you back up. Like it's been plenty of times I've been on that ride, and like I came up. Of course, that the precaution is there, but I feel as though I've said that before. Like I feel like that's not safe. I'm traumatized. I don't like that ride.
Once you up there like that high, you're pretty much helpless. There's really not much anyone can do, especially if you start falling. So my suggestion is there should be a net, like it's laying on the ground, like you walk on to get on the ride, And then once that ride starts going up, at some point you hit a button and that net stretches out. Like it's around the ride and it stretches out. And it's up a certain point and it's it's there. And if anybody falls, they should land right on that net.
Yeah, man, this is just
Even if they fail from that high up, landing on that net should keep them safe. Keep them from dying.
And yeah, amusement parks are definitely for fun. I love amusement parks, but it's just like I just feel like all roller coasters and rides are not necessary. Yeah, that's just me. Like that roller coaster is not necessary for me, or like ride. Also, you remember there was another incident years back about the boat. At the carnivals that go like that.
Oh, that boat. I always like that joint.
I remember it was an incident that happened recently in recent years about the boat thing. So it's just like I just feel like all rides, man, like are not necessary. I've been on a couple of rides. Where it's a wooden ride. I was just like, the wooden rides. I'm like, bro. I see my life flash a couple times.
You get whiplash on the wooden ride. Just all rickety.
Yeah, man. It just needs to be more precaution, man. This is a sad story, but definitely just wanted to bring it up and talk about it and get your point of view on it as well, man.
Yeah, man.
So, man, prayers and condolences to the family once again.
It'll change, though. When things like this happen, things always have to change.
For sure. Need to change.
It's unfortunate that these things have to happen for it to change, but something
got to change. Yep. Yeah. You ain't lying. Lastly, let's get to it. The infamous would you rather. Would you rather never be able to take a shower or never be able to brush your teeth again? That is tough. I give y'all a tough one. And I ain't playing. I would say neither. I don't want either.
If I had to pick,
I'm going to pick one.
I'm going with never brush my teeth.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm going to never brush my teeth.
Because I can do some other things.
I could, right. In the shower, hey, bro, I'm going to just have to take an L. And I'm gonna just have to use some soap, bro. Cause I don't know what you can do.
Yeah, I need a shower. I need the shower. Cause that's the overall funkiness.
Yeah, that's just overall.
I can do some things without. I can take Listerine every day. I can chew gum.
To chew gum. You have other.
The Binaca or whatever. I got mints. There's some other things I can do. You know what I'm saying?
Breath gonna be rocking, but I ain't gonna be stinking all up.
Yeah, I gotta take a shower, yo. I'm sorry. That's tough, but it's like, man.
I had asked my student, one of them said not to take a shower. I'm like, bro, you ain't thinking about that one. You ain't thinking all the way through. Funky boy. You gotta be at least presentable. You know what I'm saying? Your breath might be kicking, but you still presentable.
Yeah, you can match that. You ain't gonna be able to. The smell's gonna come off you. You ain't gonna be able to match that.
Yeah, boy, it's up for you.
You can at least match some things like with the not brushing your teeth. Listerine is healthy for your teeth. It may not be brushing your teeth, but it's things. Keep your teeth from rotting and whatever.
Floss or something. All I said was brush.
Yeah, you can do some things now.
So. Hey, let us know, would you rather, alright? Man, you already know, man, another amazing episode, man, with the gang, the Faison View Podcast. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. You guys been doing an amazing job, man. We went up in the month of March. Let's go up in the month of April, man. So, man, we got more in store for you. Good content. We lucky, bro. Spring break coming up, bro. We teachers, we educated, so you know what I'm saying. We get our little spring break. Don't get jealous. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I will not be next week's episode.
Hey,
I'll be out of town.
My brother is going out of town, so you just know he tapping back with us. You know what I'm saying. After spring break, man. Enjoy your time. Hey, Thursday 5 p.m. Make sure y'all tap in. Much love, y'all. Much love.